Untitled Chapter was released in 1994 on the Super Nintendo, and it was a success for Nintendo and Rare. They immediately worked on a sequel, which was released a year later. There isn't much noteworthy to say on the development on Untitled Chapter 2, as the development was pretty quick compared to Rare's previous release. I mentioned in my review of Untitled Chapter that this was a series that got me into video games, and it was specifically Untitled Chapter 2 that made me fall in love with them. I used to draw the cons, the animal buddies, and the gremlins often as a kid, which sparked my interest in drawing too. This is a childhood game of mine, and it holds a special place in my heart. And I want to tell you why Untitled Chapter 2, Diddy's Conquest, is an amazing game. The previous game's story was simple, and while DTC 2 isn't anything grand either, it does something that was interesting, at least to me at the time, and that was turning the hero of the previous game, Untitled, into the damsel in distress. Instead, the sidekick of the previous game, Diddy Kong, takes up the mantle of the hero, with his girlfriend Dixie Kong carrying along for the ride, to rescue DT from Captain K. Rool. Yeah, he's Captain K. Rool now. I noticed DTC 2 emulates Donkey Kong Jr., the sequel to the arcade Donkey Kong, as both of the apes went from the title character to being kidnapped by an enemy from the previous game. I'm not sure that was intentional, I just thought that was a funny coincidence. There are examples of games that uses the sidekick taking up the role of the hero, and many comic books do this too. But whenever I think of this trope, DTC 2 always comes to mind. This sidekick turning hero stick is implied during the ending of the game, where Cranky Kong presents the Video Game Heroes Podium, with Link being at number 3, Yoshi at number 2, and Mario at number 1. And this is the goal for both Diddy Kong to prove himself and that he can make it to the big leagues, and for the player to get all the DT coins to complete the game to its first. In the original DTC, you only have to enter the bonus rooms to get a full completion, but there wasn't much substance to the bonus rooms besides a way to get extra lives. In DTC 2, they play a more significant role, as it's the only way to unlock the secret area, the Lost World, and to defeat the true final boss. The bonus missions are more varied in level design, and tasks such as defeating all the enemies, trek through an obstacle course, and getting all the stars, all of which are in a time limit, making the bonus missions much more dire. There have been many games that have kept the MacGuffins as part of its core gameplay, and they themselves are no stranger to collectathons, with DTC 2 being one of the first. And out of all them, I feel DTC 2 handles them best, as it's not too bloated for collectibles, but enough of them toward exploration. The only time where I found collecting everything to be a pain is with the 2 out of the 40 DT coins. Both of these DT coins are at the very end of 2 stages, Mudhole Marsh and Web Woods, and in both stages you must time your jumps right on the goalposts, otherwise you have to restart the stages again to try to earn another shot. The first DTC had the Orangutan Gang, which had the foundation of exploration with the number of bonus rooms to find and the different sections in the stage, but for the most part DTC's level design was straightforward. DTC 2's levels, on the other hand, are designed with exploration in mind, as you aren't just going horizontally straight, but you're climbing upwards, flying in the skies, going left, going right, and even all combined to find items, bananas, and bonus stages. A lot of levels have their own theme too, like the water rising with a deadly piranha thresh in Siam Climb, winds pressing left to right in Dusty Jade, and even being chased by a giant bee in Ramby Rumble, and each level feels unique without feeling stale or too gimmicky. Ramby and Ungard return with a new charge move, and Squartz has been promoted from Torchlight to Rideable Animal Buddy, New to the game are Ratty the Snake, who replaces Winty the Frog with a new super jump, and Switter the Spider, who shoots out webs for attacking foes and uses them to create platforms too. We also have Glimmer the Angry Fist, who is the torch for a single stage, and Kappa the Seal, who only appears in 2 stages, who can cool down hot lava and freeze water. Winty and Espresso don't make a return in this game, but of course I mentioned Ratty as Winty's replacement, and I feel Espresso wasn't needed as Dixie Kong basically does Espresso's job, as he can glide through the air, which is so useful, especially in some levels like Dusty Glade. While Dixie Kong has the advantage of gliding with a helicopter spin, Diddy is the agile one out of the bunch. Both characters have their strengths, and the levels don't usually favour either Kong. Like the original, DTC2 uses the Silicon graphics and advanced computer modeling engine, and with the developers being more comfortable with the technology, the visuals look better, and the animations are much more lively too. Some of my favourites is when the duo encounter a boss, their idle animations, and their own unique victory dances. I love the environments with half of the level themes going for the pirate motif. My favourite level themes are the pirate ships, the haunted forests, and the mining caves. This time the music was only composed by David Wise, and by goodness, this is why he's my favourite composer. This is my favourite soundtrack of all time, and I just simply love listening to it even outside of the game. There are so many memorable tracks that just stick in my brain, such as Mine Melancholy, Stitterbrush Symphony, and Forest Interlude. What I like about his work, especially in DTC2, is how some of his tracks, like Mine Melancholy, emulate characters and objects, making the sound themselves. I played Super Mario World and Sonic the Hedgehog before I was introduced to Donkey Kong Country 2, and while both games are great, they don't hold a candle to the masterpiece, and that is Donkey Kong Country 2. It has become somewhat of an annual tradition of mine, playing this gem, whether it be one of my brothers, a full completion run, or just a casual playthrough, and I don't think that annual tradition will die out soon. It's challenging, yes, but it is so rewarding, and if you need to play any Super Nintendo game, it needs to be Donkey Kong Country 2. The next game in the Donkey Kong Country Marathon is the third installment of the series, and the final one for the Super Nintendo, Donkey Kong Country 3. So I hope I see you there.